return because I was running low on fuel. I took off with 250 litres of fuel, same as I'll do this time. So this will be probably one flight. But this time we're not going to fly at high altitude. We're going to fly on the deck and see if we can spot any enemies that way. So I'm just going to adjust some settings, and I'll be back in about 30 seconds, and stay tuned. Alright, okay, so now we've got this here and we're ready to go and everything's going to be good. Got my rudder pedals bolted to the floor now. So we're going to take off here, we're going to take off here, this is Normandy, and then we're just going to fly about 120 degrees down to defend this place here. That's what I did last time, defend this. There's nobody there though, but they might be getting attacked from here. 3 of us, 6 of them. So I'm going to fly along and see what I can see. But this time I'm going to be flying on the deck, not up at altitude. So that's the plan. So I mean, it's tactical air war. So we'll see if I can spot any enemies this way. Alright, the gun sight is set. And let's get out of here. So glad I've bolted the rudder pedals down. Remember, we're going to stay on the deck this time. Contact near 2812. Alright, 2812 is just directly south from here, so let's just adjust a bit. And I'll be heading 180 soon enough, just got to compensate a bit. So here we go, let's go. $29.18, where's that? Ah, that's at the defending point where I was going to go. So I'll go to 28.12 and then I'll go across about 100 degrees to 29.19. But what's here? Is there anything here? Nothing really. Just there's that town. Harcourt, Turi Harcourt, stuff like that. Alright, good. You can't really navigate when you're on the deck as well, so you just got to set headings and stuff like that. It's got 180 now. How long should I fly south for? Probably about 5 minutes. Watch does come in handy sometimes for the low level flights. 24.15. They're everywhere now. Across the map in different spots. 24.15, that's here. Sheesh, and they're attacking there and they were there. And I'm about Cayenne. I'm at about Car, probably. No, I'm past it. So yeah, this is just basically a flight on the deck to see if I can spot any planes and then maybe shoot them down. That's about it really. Because yes, the place where I was defending, there was nothing there. So I even flew out to the enemy airbase and there was nothing there. Like in the general direction of it. So I've got my mirror. Hey, the mirror's pretty good for checking the 6, isn't it? I haven't even really used this mirror very much, but now that I've got the mirror, yeah, that mirror's pretty good. I kind of wish it was wider though, giving like a much wider angle of degrees of view, field of view. I want more degrees there, like 80 degrees or something. That seems to be so narrow. Could they make it fisheye or something? If it was fisheye, could they make it zoomed in but fisheye? So you can really see what's behind you and it also on your periphery. That's good though, that mirror's good. I can see why the RAF used the mirror. $250 litres of fuel, so it's not too much. It's good enough for like a 45-minute flight though. As long as you're not leaking fuel after an encounter. Well, there's nothing down here, is there? I've decided I don't like being here. Why don't I just turn towards 2614? I was going to turn differently. 2821. They're everywhere and they're nowhere at the same time. What am I going now? 117. From about here somewhere, going 117. That's about right to get to there. So perhaps I'll just keep going 90 for the time being. Or I could head back to here where there was an enemy here. I'll just go 90. Still got 6 enemies out there. I appreciate there's more players online at different time zones, but you got to understand that being in the southern hemisphere here, down under, that basically, like, it's my sleepy time when everyone in the northern hemisphere is up and rearing to go. So yes, I can get out of bed at 4 a.m. and I can go and play when there's 50 players on the server. That'd be great. But I'm so dead tired that I can't even enjoy it. It's cold, my legs are cold, my feet are cold, it's cold, I'm tired, it's cold. I mean, just sitting in a bloody chair when it's cold. I mean, who wants to do that, right? So we could put the heat on. Yeah, but it's just this, it's this whole thing. It's just, you want to sleep, right? You need to get your sleep. So in the past, I've tried adjusting my sleeping pattern actually to the European time of playing in the European and American peak zone time. And there's more players then, but effing hell, man, I'm so sleepy then, even if I try and adjust my sleeping pattern. So I'll do it sometimes. Often I'll just play through, so I won't go to bed and I'll just play through to like 6 a.m. and stuff, but that's a bit of a marathon. I can't do that all the time. So, you know what I mean? Let's just check the engine power setting. That's pretty good. Yeah, you can check your 6 like that, like just by adjusting your perspective in the cockpit. You can get a better field of view doing that. That's good. When you've got a Messerschmitt on your tail though, when you've got a Messerschmitt on your tail, it might look like a tiny dot that you can't even see, so this may be of limited use unless it's got zoom or something, like if it was zoomed in. I think it could help you in the blue sky, but if you're against the terrain, it's not so helpful. If there's one beneath you on the terrain, I very, very much doubt you're going to see it. It needs to be against the blue sky, or else you won't see it. Well, this is really hugging the deck. 2614. Was that in the north? It's there again, and where am I? I'm here. So if I just go north, from here. But also, what altitude are they at? They could be at a high altitude. So if you're on the deck and you're chasing them like that, good luck. You have to catch up, you have to climb up to them. Good luck with that. They were there before. It almost seems like they're coming back from a high altitude run, probably in a Stuka or something, Check the mirror. So I mean, with so few players on here, it's going to be rather unusual if we spot any enemy planes. So, by the way, the Spitfire fuel gauge has been tampered with in one of the latest updates. I don't know how you're supposed to read it now. Probably you got to bloody press an effing button or something. Like, got to press some button to read it or something. I don't know. Do I want to check that now? Probably they'll say it here, wouldn't they? If there's some weird thing with the button. To use the fuel gauge, press and hold the corresponding button, right shift something by default. Right shift something by default. So I. Alright, so you got to press and hold. That says I've got full fuel. Full fuel in the bottom tank. So the bottom tank has full fuel. But what about the other tank? I assume there's more than one tank, right? The bottom tank. What the hell is that? So the bottom tank has full fuel, but I didn't take off with total full fuel. I took off with 250 litres instead of about 400. So I guess I'll just have to keep an eye on that. So I'm flying north. Where's the enemy? There's a position there. I might just go out to the coast, actually. It's hard to say where to go, what to do. When I was on here the other night, it was really good. There was players here, and I shot down 2 planes. But getting pretty late at night, I was getting tired and everything. Going to open up the chat. We got 3 people watching. Hi everybody. What was that? Enemy contact at 807? Where the heck's 807? God, we got stuff over here as well. 807. They're attacking those ships at Portsmouth. Oh my God, too much. I didn't realise that we had positions all. I thought that the map was just localised to here. I thought, good. Good, it's a small map. No, even at bloody in Britain as well. Well, I'm going to run out of fuel one day, so I can't really go that far. Remind you guys, you can pay a super chat during live streams like this one. Any payment is much appreciated. And also after streams you can do super thanks. You can pay a super chat during a live stream. Like $1, $5, $10, $1 million. Whip out your credit card. Throw us a tip. Buy us a cup of coffee. And then after streams, that's a super chat. And then after streams, when the stream is finished, or on any video that I've uploaded, you can pay a super thanks. Your support is so appreciated. You can also check out my GoFundMes, my Buy Me a Coffee, and everything else that I'm up to. All of your support is very good. Yeah, so it's such a huge map. It's not 9 players or so on the other side. 9 players on the other side. That's good. They're going to be around somewhere. Just want to see like a juicy Stuka come cruising along just over here or something. I'm almost at the coast now. I'll just keep an eye on that bloody fuel gauge every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes or so. I've got to remember. And then, what's the engine power setting? Engine power setting's good. I've got to remember to use the rudder as well. This is apparently a neutrally buoyant aircraft, but neutrally stable aircraft. So, and the rudder, the elevator, very powerful. It's a curious design. It's different than the other planes, that's for sure. For people watching, hello everyone. So if you didn't know, this server here, this multiplayer server, it's called Tactical Air War, and it's the most difficult and the most realistic server that there is. It runs periodically, so it does seasons. It does actually, I don't know if that's the right word, because it does multiple seasons per year. Like once every so often. I think it's a bit ad hoc, but let's just say once every 2 months there's a tour season, opens up, and it goes for, I don't know, 3 weeks or something. So that's basically it. But yeah, there's no techno chat. Normally on the screen there you get a whole bunch of information, like the percentage of what your throttle is set at, the percentage of the power, the percentage of what your RPM of your propeller is set at, whether your gear's down or whether your gear's up. In Tor, that information stream is turned off. It's turned off, and so you have to rely on the instruments in the aircraft only, which makes it much more different and arguably more difficult that you don't have that. Things like that. You don't have any moving map aircraft icon that tells you where you are on the map. There's no kind of GPS icon on the map. Stuff like that. So any kind of warning, like say if there's a low fuel warning or something in the techno chat, well, you don't have that in Tor. It's switched off. All that information is switched off. So you basically, you just got to look at the instruments, you got to look at the levers and stuff, and yeah, it's more complex. So there's different difficulty settings by the settings that the server administrator sets, and some of them, the easiest one by comparison, the easiest server is called the EU server, and it's got everything switched on. It's got all the information on, switched on, and that's okay because everyone's in that server. Everyone's subjected to the same conditions. But it's what would be called the most user-friendly, and it also has engine management switched on, so you don't have to really manage the engine yourself. You can't blow up the engine, because as soon as the engine's nearing its limits of its operation, because you're running it at full power, it'll shut itself down. So if you're at 100% power, in EU server, you'll see the power after a period of time, 5 minutes or something, you'll see the power reduced by itself down to say 70% or 40% or whatever the game decides that it has to reduce the power by to stop your engine from overheating and blowing up. Stuff like that. So, hey, there's IL-2 CSI channel. Tor is boring because it's fighter-oriented server. Is it a fighter-oriented server? Last season that I played on it, a few months ago, I was flying the Sturmovik, and I was aware that there was many ground attackers flying the Sturmovik, and at the end of the season it was generally agreed upon, from what I could tell in the Discord of Tor, But everyone was like, wow, the Sturmovik is winning this whole thing for the Allies because it is such a good ground attacker. And don't forget, on tour, the flak and the AAA, the anti-aircraft guns of all different kinds, are so effective, so deadly, that if you're attacking a ground position with any normal aircraft, you're just going to get destroyed. But if you attack it with the Sturmovik can take a lot of hits, even from 20mm cannon and stuff, or like 3.7mm cannon or whatever. Those huge ground cannons that the Luftwaffe air defense uses, Sturmovik can get hit by quite a few of those and it doesn't even care. So it's a really effective ground attacker. What was that, 25-12 or something? Better check the fuel in a minute. That's back at my own base. Do I want to head back there? Not really. They'll probably get shot down too by the flak or something. Alright, I'll probably head south now. I mean, I could head back to my own base. It's one plane though. I could just follow the coast back. But then if I'm out here, I mean, I could go to the position that's supposed to be defended. I don't know. Check the fuel and then I'll go south. $25 gallons in the bottom tank. Alright, now it's not saying that it's full. So yeah, we're using fuel. Where am I, by the way? I'm around about, I don't know, I'm around about here, I would say. So if I go south, that's not really going to do it. I need to go that way. And that's about 120, so 90 and 180. 90 plus 45 gives 135.